Okay, now let's look at the assignment. Before looking at the assignment, we'll be using in CSS. CSS is very complicated, so it's good to use a library. And the library of choice here is okay. These are different things you should know on CSS. Backgrounds, adding background colors, adding background images, changing the text, changing the font type, adding icons, list elements. List elements, we do not see that in HTML, but we'll just look at that shortly. Yeah, and all of these, we don't really have time to go through all of this. You can read it. I mean, you click on any one, you can read and see how to apply it. It's very easy. So we'll skip all of that and go to a CSS library called Bootstrap. Even on Bootstrap, we won't be spending much time on it. It's not here. It has its own heading. If I click here and I come to the menu, I should find tutorials. Good. I should find Bootstrap somewhere. It's a CSS library. Good. Bootstrap. They are now hosting 3, 4, 5. But we'll look at the 3, which seems to be quite easier than this. But learn 3 very fast and try to use 4. 4 is quite good. 4 is good, but 5 with 5 you need to know how to use JavaScript, because 3 and 4 they actually use jQuery to actually do everything concerned with JavaScript. jQuery is another library too, but it's a library of JavaScript. So you have JavaScript as a language and you have jQuery as a library of JavaScript. So 3 and 4 they use jQuery. 5 does not use jQuery, so you should be able to write your own functions that should do what you want. It's equally not difficult, so anything you want to do, just read the documentation. Okay, we'll go straight to Bootstrap 3. Okay, with Bootstrap, what I want us to understand is Bootstrap helps us to write clean code and very fast. It helps us with all the styles we will ever need. Yeah, most of the time. But when we get better, we could actually I don't know, try out other frameworks. But for the meantime, we will go with Bootstrap. So I want to get Bootstrap onto this project. So the first thing I'll do is I'll come here to get started. They'll give me a link. I'm just looking for the link to get the Bootstrap files. So actually Bootstrap is hosted on a CDN, content delivery network. So all the files are there and you simply call it. See, Bootstrap is nothing different from what we've done here. So with Bootstrap you have so much of such code written by experts and you just use it. That's how Bootstrap works. So you see, okay, good. Let me start by getting this library. So as I told you, Bootstrap is CSS, but then it uses jQuery to give you some added functionalities. Yeah, we won't be looking much into JavaScript, which is a wonderful programming language. For the moment, let's see what we can do with just the CSS part of Bootstrap. So I've copied this. I'll simply come to my HTML and I'll paste it in there. Okay, but before pasting it, let's see what this Bootstrap really does. So if we come back to our code, here I guess we're on our index page. You see, just look at the writings and everything. These are the default writings. I mean the default font style, font types and font styles. So the moment we've added Bootstrap, see, we've added Bootstrap. Remember, this is an absolute link. This is a relative link. So the moment I save it, see what happens. You see, so much has changed in the way the text is written and everything, and there's much more to be done. This is just default styles from Bootstrap that have affected our HTML file. So let's try to see some of the crazy things we can do with Bootstrap. So for that, instead I'll do this. This was media files. I'll copy all of these, Control C and VS, and call it media.html. Yeah, because I want our index file to be free of all of this. So I actually take all of this away, even this other style up here. Good. Now before taking this style away, let's understand something. Your styles should always come after the styles of your library, because the way Bootstrap works is you execute code. Okay, let's actually see what this Bootstrap looks like. As we've come here, we go Control U should help us see the source code. In this source code, we will simply come to Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, oh, you call this a minified version. So the code has been compressed, so it has been minified. Let's see, Brett. I like VS Code. VS Code is going to straighten it back up. Should I come NV? Good. Here we no longer want to use Bootstrap online. Here it's actually been accessed online. You can see HTTPS, max, blah 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 blah. We're trying to have the same Bootstrap on our local machine so that we can work without the internet. So I've copied all of this code. This is it here. Barely 6 lines, but it's not just 6 lines. Easy here, that's been so compressed. So what I'll do is I'll save it. I'll save it still in our CSS file, and I'll call it bootstrap.min.css. I add this min there just to know that it's a file that has been minified. So I save it. Good. But here I have a plugin that this pretty again. So when you try to compress code, it's going to actually review the code, actually going to realign the code the way it's supposed to be. So if you see what they have done at Bootstrap, the guys at Bootstrap, by the way, Bootstrap is by Twitter. You can see Twitter here, the Twitter company here. So what you can see here is they've actually reviewed the whole code back to us. So this is not different from what we're writing here, but we are not experts in design, so we better come for experts. They have done it in a very wonderful way. No, I don't mean the way it's presented here, but what it does in our HTML. Oops. So what I'll simply come and do here is, with tables especially, we'll see how to style our tables, and our tables look so beautiful. So I'll rapidly come back here. This thing should not be called links, it should be called Tito, for instance. So here, let's start by seeing what Bootstrap does. So Bootstrap actually permits us achieve better designs. Let's start with, in fact, let's just have a tip of the iceberg by looking at our tables. So let's do a link and go to our tables. I'll carry this along. So I come here, and I do tables.html, and I come here, I call it tables. Great, that's simply like a plane. It takes me to it was table, not tables. Anyhow, all I need to do, I come up here and I remove the S. Boom, and I'm tables. Okay, what I'll equally do is I'll run and come to table. If you see our table here is so ugly. It's so ugly, yeah. By matter of fact, we don't do this. This was HTML4. Hey, I didn't realize this. Now this is how it's supposed to be. This HTML4, and no one does this anymore. So that's our table. So ugly. But now what we'll try to do is come and add Bootstrap. Oops, not you, but bootstrap.min. Great. Our table has changed a little bit, but believe me, we can make it change far more. Just look at what we'll do. Bootstrap was written just with a series of classes. That's why you see whenever I type, I try to add a class, because it's a reflex. Because see what will happen the moment I come and do this table. Just keep looking at this. See how this will keep changing. Table. That's what we obtain. Far better, well aligned, well designed. Let's go further. I do table striped, for instance. See what we get. Can you see there are different colors? There are different colors, simply helping you go through your detail. What else could we do? Table, maybe SM, make the table look smaller. Alright, we're not catching it here because anyhow, we need much more to catch all of this. So with this already, our table looks far better. No, I think there's table bordered, something like that. It actually adds borders to it, so you can find all of that. If you come down here to BS table somewhere, you find it somewhere. here. I'm able to give all of that out because I've used this over and over. There's no magic to it. Practice and you'll get better. Great. So now I don't know if we should we'll go directly to the assignment, but I want to do the assignment in CSS first before going to JavaScript. But no need. Can I get my charger? No, of the laptop. Okay, so yeah, have you seen it? Just pull, yeah. Great. So can you connect? Okay, great. Yeah, we're powered. Okay, now let's go back to our index and try to see what we can do. Okay, we'll be doing that. We'll be looking at the assignment straight up rather than trying to look at Bootstrap before coming to do the assignment. Yeah. Okay. I'll come back to index. I take away the link. Okay, so our objective. Okay, now we promise we'll do CSS. We'll do the whole thing in CSS first, then we'll see how Bootstrap will have been of help. So I'll come here, but it's getting late too. We'll go directly Bootstrap. Let's not waste time. Okay, so I come here and I do div dot. With Bootstrap we have what you call the grid system. So Bootstrap is going to take a page and divide it into 12. This permits you realign items. Let's see how that works. So I come here and we start with container. I'll do container fluid because I'm trying to get a combination of container and fluid. Fluid occupies the whole width. Container occupies just to a certain level. Okay, so when I come here I do this, then I do after getting your container you need to get a row, and it's in the row that you're able now to split the screen into 12 parts, and it depends how you want to use the parts. Now we're splitting our screen into 12 parts. We want to have a layout in which on desktop we have 4 images, or no, let's say 3 images. On tablet we have 2 images, and on mobile we have just 1 image. So let's start with desktop. So we're having 3. To have 3 images means we must do 12 divided by 4, no, 12 divided by 3 if we want to have 3 columns, right? That gives us 4. So we'll simply come and say div dot call dot, on the large screen, LG is for large screens, we get 4. When we do that, I'll actually try to create what they call a card. So by the way, let's come to Bootstrap. What I was saying was simply this. So I'll come to grid basic. Please, you go and rate. You see blah 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 12 blah 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 blah. You get all of that there. The LG I wrote is LG is for large screens. I don't know where they wrote that, but cool. LG is for large screens, medium sized screens like small laptops. Tablets usually go for SM, mobile phones go for XS. Good. You can find all of that there while we are trying to build our interface. So let me get a picture of a beautiful shoe. E-commerce will mostly sell shoes and clothes. So all we need is a picture of a shoe. Images. Might get 3 shoes. Let's get 3 shoes. Okay, good. The sizes are almost the same, which is good. 1600, 1600, 1600, 1600. This is a little bit different. Good. Let's get this 3. 1. Oh, this cool too. Cool. Let's get these 4 shoes. They all have the same dimensions. So we'll save them. Save as. We don't. Oh, stop you, WebP. Oh my god. So this time around we'll not keep it in media. We'll keep it in its own folder called imgs for images. I won't save that guy. I hope they're not all in this same format. Save images. Ooh, I don't know how this renders on web. Anyhow, let me save it and we'll try one and see. This is actually a new format. I think it was developed by Google for pictures on the web. Usually we're very familiar with JPEG, GIF, and all whatnot. So with this first shoe, let me see how it looks like. So here I'll create a div to hold everything I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build something like a cat. This is a cat, more or less. You see, a cat has a picture and then some text, but it's actually isolated from the other ones. Yeah, like when you're on Twitter, even Facebook uses cards now, but I think Twitter was the first to start using cards. So here we're trying to have our image here, so I'll do img.dat, and then I know our images are found in imgs, and then I'm looking for shoe. What was it again? Shoe.webp. I don't know if it works. Just what I thought. This is it. It's shoe or shoes? Shoes. I'm seeing webp. It doesn't seem to be working. Let me just see if I am on the right track. Yeah, you don't. I'm on the right track. Text is showing, but image showing. And now let me see. Maybe I'm the one who is wrong. Let me see if. It's saved in the wrong folder. Maybe that's the issue. Let me try to sort it out. In imgs there's nothing, but in assets I think I just got the image somewhere in media. Let's take it out and take it to the right folder. It should work. Well, if you're inventing something new, it should. Cool, it works. So cool, let's use it. It was built because it's so light. The format is so light. See, this shoe is just what, 70 KB. I hope you know what the KB stands for. Okay, so one thing we'll try to do is we don't want to put in every image and come and giving the width. I mean, it makes the work clumsy. So what we'll try to do here is I'll try to do the styles inside of the HTML. So I'll come here and I'll do style. Oops, no, not that type of style. Style. Great. And I say all images. I want to see a border around them, a border of say 1 pixel solid black. Good, I can see the line passing here. But now what I want it to do is I want this image. Good, Bootstrap has a way of doing it. Even I could just come in and say img, or is it responsive? I think it's responsive. Good. It actually occupies its whole width that we have described with the grid system. So, but I think our grid system is too linear. This is because our screen is to this dimension, and we shouldn't go more because remember we're recording. But let me see if I should reduce the screen size. Good, I've attained large. I was on medium. So in order not to confuse people, let's go to medium. Let's work with medium. So working with medium, I take my screen size back to the guy's still not responding. Let's work in this dimension. So this is a medium screen. I'm having a picture this way. So let's go ahead and download the other shoes that have the same dimensions. We download it to save as img. So we'll call you shoe 2. Great, and let's get the shoes first. From the way I see these shoes, they all come from the same e-commerce platform, because I've taken the time with them giving out the dimensions and everything. Please never use someone's picture online if you're trying to do e-commerce. Go get your own pictures. Well done. Shoe 3. Oops, it's telling us shoe 3 has been taken. Anyhow, but it's like there's no shoe 1, so let's push 1. Great. So now let's come here and rapidly have our shoes in place. So row. Okay, good. This is what you should know. Let me go back to the Bootstrap thing. Okay, look at Bootstrap. After the row, right? You see the columns, they open, they close. So these are the children to this row, right? Great. So I have the row here. I have this. But now it won't help me if I start multiplying this. But rather, what will help me is let me finish styling this guy. So as I've given that, I come down and say it should be an h3, and give the name. Probably it's called shoe 1. and probably his price, I'll make it an H5. I would say it cost what 2,500. That shoe is expensive. That's 12,500. Or just use our currency, XAF. Great. That's what we achieved, right? That's all we needed, right? Probably we needed a link, and when we click on it, we go to a page where we can see the bigger show. Let's just do that link now before we multiply them. So do an A here. So I'm trying to wrap all of them in a link. Great. Yeah, so if I come, they'll tell me there's a link, but it's not taking me anywhere, as I can see below. Great. I think that's just what we needed. Yeah, so if I come here, this all I'm planning to duplicate. We have 4 shows, so 1 2 3 4. Great, we'll have 4 same shows, but that's not what we wanted, so we'll go ahead and change the names. So shoe 1, we're done with shoe 1. What are the names of these shoes again? Now let me name them properly. We have shoe 1, shoe 2, shoe 3, shoe 4. Great. Good, we'll have an issue here because we're not named properly. Shoe 1. Great, should be shoe 1. Then we have shoe 2. And probably here, I don't know the price of shoe 2. Let's benefit of that, let's do that. Shoe 2, shoe 3. Its price, that's a 75. I don't even know what it looks like. And then shoe 4. With shoe 4 we have these, and probably with this price we do 8,500. Great. So yeah, we have our 4 shoes. I love we have more, but let's stick with these. Okay. Let's make it 6 so that it looks better. So to make it 6, I'll simply come and duplicate this. Yeah. Oops, no, I messed up. Why did I mess up? Okay, good. I did not. Be very careful with your tags. If you miss one tag, like you saw what just happened, that's because we actually went and missed a tag. Great. Good, we have 6 shows. Yeah. Now let's style it a little bit. Let's make it look a little bit good. So I usually don't like images that are so square. So one thing I'll really come here and do is I'll say border radius 5%. So that border, is there a change? Great, you can see I'm changed, right? Great. What else should I change again? The prices could be good on that side, but at times I like to bring them to the middle. So if I want to bring them to the middle, good. You see, this is the advantage. It's affecting all the images because I'm using their tag straight away. So now I want to use that's no reference. Anyhow, this basic referencing, so all H3s will be affected in the same way. What should I do with the H3s? I think they're just okay like that. But now what I want to do is I did not give a name up here. Oops. I'll just call it I'll call it cat. Usually a cat. Okay, I'll call it IMG card. Great. So as I call it IMG card, it is in my best interest to wrap images inside of IMG card. I copied all of them. So I'll come and do this. There is anyhow, when you go ahead in CSS, you learn of SCSS. It helps you to actually write CSS, as if you're actually doing programming. So I'll come and do this. I'll come and put it here. This simply permits just the images in image card to be styled. I hope you're getting that. So I'll come here and do 2%. So yeah, I like it just slightly here. Now this IMG card is affecting everyone. This IMG card, so I could come in IMG card and say H3. I don't like the blue link showing that it's a link, so I'll just probably say font. No, you don't change. You change it with color. It might not change. It might not change. Let me just see. Let me make it black. Let's see if it's going to obey. Okay, that's obeyed. So I'll just do it for now. If I want to apply the same style to multiple things, I simply come and add a comma, right? So I'll do this, and then I do it for the H5 too. H5, great. But now what I want to achieve is, okay, when you go on it, I don't want the link to show, but simply go to the link and try to get a text decoration, prevent the underlining from coming. But I want to actually make it look separate. Look, let's look at it, these guys again. You see, it's actually like separate. Here it's not separate, but I like such effects where it actually shows that these two belong together. So given that we have IMG card, I'll come up here again and have our IMG card. I'll simply come and put a border of say 2 pixels solid red. Let's just red and see what it gives us. Okay, we're having this around our shoes. So when he does this, it's probably not looking very good. So I need a gray color. Oh my god, come on, I need a grayish color around it. No, should just a little bit dark, just a little bit dark, somewhere around here. Great. And then what else do I need there? I need it to give some spacing below. So I'll say margin bottom. I'll probably give it 25 pixels. Great. Let me just take away the border from the image itself. Yeah, it's not that clean, not to my liking, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you can actually see. Okay, let's actually this margin bottom. Let's give it from margin. I want to give it from margin top and bottom. So I'll do you and do 0. Please go and read more on margin, and you know how I was able to achieve this. Okay. Let's assume this is our interface. Oh, we needed our logo and everything up there. Oh my god. So I'll come up here and create a nav. Or on this nav, I'll try to do a div. I'll try to do 2 divs where one should take the IMG. IMG. Our source here should be media logo.png, and our logo comes there, and we try to give our nav a background color. And nav will give it a background color of want something azure. You're not really seeing it, but there's something, right? Here, let's make it. Let's just make it old school. Something black and white, completely black and white. So that's our logo. But then we'll try to make our logo look a little bit different by coming to nav again, nav, and then coming to nav IMG, the image which is in nav, and giving it a border of 2 pixels solid white. So good, it surrounds it, but then let's give it a width of say 200 pixels. I want to be small again. Let's say 100 pixels. There it is. Great. Let's shift it a little bit from where it is. So margin of 10 pixels, for instance. Great, we find it there. That's our logo. Because the name, you put the name. In fact, I wouldn't be focusing on that. But as a matter of fact, Bootstrap actually has code for all of these, making it very beautiful, and so we won't be stressing so much on this. So you see here we have our images, right? Yeah, just very little work. I think this is clean. Now I want to click on you and land on a page where I find an image and more details, right? Great. Good. So we need a page called details to do that. So I'll create a new page here called article details dot html. Great. So for article details, so as not to have so much issues, I'll just copy you back and come and paste here, but then I make sure I take away from row. I'll take away all this coding here, everything. No, I'll leave one person, just one person. I take away every other thing. So you till you out. So yeah, we'll leave our same nav bar, but then on index here, we'll permit now this link. Let's change all the links. 2, 5, 6 of them, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll call it article details.html. So remember again, for the links, this is a page found in the same folder, so we'll do that. A file found in the same folder. Great. So if I should click, it will take us to a certain page, right? That's taking us to articles.html, right? So when we keep seeing the same show, which is normal because HTML is not dynamic. So if I come here, probably my objective here is let this show be bigger, centralized, and then we have, or this should occupy half the size, and then we have details on the other side. I think that's far more better. So I'll come here on MD. When the screen is medium, I make it 6. It goes bigger. Then on this other side, I want to have details. So I just come here again and I make this Control D. Control D is on Control D. It's not Control D. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then here I take away the details. We really don't need the links anymore. And come to this side of the screen. So we just leave you here and clear off everything as such. Yeah. Great. So let's do some designing here. So I'll come here and say details. Yeah. I'll say details, and I come in its own styles up here. I wipe off everything. Everyone is right. Oh no, I should be very careful not to wipe off everything. Card in the middle of card. Oops. I might not wipe, and I just proceed and add my whatever I'm trying to add there. In details, I'll probably say padding 25 pixels. Great. Then I come to the details here and actually give it a title. This was H3. I could come here and do an H2 and say details. H2. Great. So I say details there, then I say blah 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 blah. I'll actually add a paragraph here. The paragraphs are good at saying rubbish. Then what do? I come here, I do this. Great, we're having something like that. It looks so small. So because it looks so small, I'll come to details here. Where do we have details? I'll ask it to increase its font size. Font sizes, or ask it to increase it to 1 em. It's a unit of measurement. Okay, good. It was already at 1 em. Reason why we do not see much change here. So I could come here and say 1.7, which is going to be quite big. Still good. 1.5 maybe. Great. We're having this. So we're having one. Oh, our logo does not have a link, which is an issue. So we rapidly come to our logo here. Logos always have links, right? Anywhere in the website you're trying to create. So I'll do here. All I'll do here is our home page is index.html. Great, and then here we have our image. Yeah, that should be good. So our image here now has a link. When I click, it goes back to, it did not go back to the home page. There was a dot. I don't know who added this dot here. I could see the dot from here, so the moment I take off the dot, it should be good. So we have our images here. When we click here, we see you, we go back. We click here, we see you, we go back. That's just plain HTML CSS, and it's always looking this good. No, these guys are just too close to this. So we'll go back to index, but remember on index does not have a link. You can add a link, so that's up to you. What I'm trying to do now is H3 and H5, they need some padding around here. They're just too close to this. So I come to H3, good, yeah, they're right here. So I just say padding. I give them what? I don't want to influence the top and the bottom. I want to influence just the X and the sides. So to influence just the sides, I will say 0 for up and down, and then for the sides, give them a value. Which value? Let's say 10 pixels. Great. I think I'm not even that close. Yeah, and looks good. Yeah, so this was it for the assignment. Now let's add Bootstrap to it and just see how it makes things. In fact, we really don't need Bootstrap for such simple projects. So as a matter of fact, we won't even use Bootstrap here. Yeah, I think we've seen how to do the grid system on Bootstrap. Go around, see the different things they do, try to do and see what you get. No.
Like if you hover the mouse around it on the shoe.
I want to see the name or title of the shoe.
For it to like zoom
It
out.
won't zoom out. Probably there you need to get a library that will do that. We can still do it with CSS. For instance, let's see something. I want that when I come over this shoe. Okay, normally when you come over the shoe, you use the name of the shoe. That's because we did not add it here. There's so many things missing out just because we're not trying to. You have to go and do your own research and see why for others it works in a particular way. I'll come here and say name of shoe. So on shoe 1, when I go to shoe 1, it tells me name of shoe, right? It tells me all of that. If you wanted to zoom out and zoom in, one nice thing you could do is you go and use for you to permit CSS. Yes, CSS does this. When I go on top of the image, it should realize that I'm on top of that image and do something. You actually go and use hover. So you go to link. Oh my god. Anyhow, just go to here and say hover effect with CSS. CSS will do it, but most of the times I do it with JavaScript. Yeah, then you go back to all. You see some people do it. This is what you're trying to write. In fact, those guys there, they're talking about it. Come and read this. Read, you do. Just know it's a hover effect. Oh, it's hover with an E. Yeah, but I mostly do this with JavaScript. Yeah, we're not going into anything in depth here. It's getting late. I think we should stop. By the way, we've done the assignment. This was the assignment. This is all about what we expected to do. So yeah, next class then. Okay, so thank you.